What's up guys? The 5th generation Toyota Supra will be coming out soon, and I made several speculation videos about it already, so check them out if you haven't seen them yet. I understand that there's already controversy with this 5th generation Supra, but I know that each and every one of you will be going out there and buying one, just because. And if not, I totally understand, because the 4th generation Supra was the peak of that model, and it's gonna be very hard to live up to. So, if you don't plan to buy the next generation Supra, the 4th generation is still available. And that's where this video comes in. This is going to be the ultimate buyer's guide to the 4th generation Toyota Supra. So if you've always wanted to live your 90s JDM nostalgia, or build that 1000 horsepower Supra, or reenact those famous lines from one of those famous movies.
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
Then this video is for you. The 4th generation Toyota Supra was sold in the US between 1993 to 1998, making this car over 20 years old. It was not as popular as people were made to believe, selling in very low numbers throughout the years, which makes this car rare and expensive. There were modified versions participating in race events, but it really didn't get much publicity until 2001 when the Fast and the Furious came out, which the Supra had already been discontinued by this time in the US. Just like any old car, you'll need to inspect them carefully, not just because of age, but also because most of them were probably modified in a cheap or bad manner. Suspension parts on an old car might also need to be replaced, so take a look at the shocks for any signs of fluid leaks and bushings for cracks. Ask the seller about maintenance records and history. Also, get a Carfax and do a compression test if there is any doubt the motor is not healthy. Check the body for dings or paint chips, and especially if it's been repainted. The body is prone to rust. On the bottom right and left of the rear hatch window seal, there are 12 VIN tags that can be found on each major body panel, so check to see if they've been replaced. Also, take a look on the driver's side door jamb to confirm the VIN, manufacturer date, and exterior and interior colors. There is one body style with two features, a target top and hardtop. The target top allows the roof to be taken off, while the hardtop is more structural and slightly lighter. Supras with a target top may have rattles, so be aware of it while driving. It'll be difficult, but also check the rubber seals for any leaks. There is also a Targa wrench used for removal, so don't forget to ask about that too. The Supra was only sold with two engine options, naturally aspirated and twin turbo. The naturally aspirated engine received variable timing control in the last year, which was 1998. Two JZA80 swaps have been found in almost everything, even in non-turbo Supras. So the quickest way to tell if you're looking at a real twin turbo, unless you're really looking for that naturally aspirated engine, is to look at the VIN plate. There are two different ones, 1993 to 1995 and 1996 to 1998. Look at the 7th column for the 1993 to 1995 for a 1 for naturally aspirated or 2 for turbo, and the 5th column in the 1996 to 1998 for a D for naturally aspirated or E for turbo. The Supra uses a timing belt compared to a chain. That means the timing belt will wear over time and will need replacement. The recommended replacement is at 90,000 miles or 72 months. Since you're in there, you might as well replace the water pump, so also include that in the cost. Now on to the transmission options. There is a 4-speed automatic used for both non-turbo and turbo. If it makes a clunking noise on the first to second shift, this is normal. The 5-speed manual, or W58, is found in the naturally aspirated version and can suffer from synchro wear. The 6-speed manual transmission is found only in the twin turbo for the US market and is known to handle 1000 horsepower stock. It's also very expensive, starting around $6,000 or more. Check to make sure any of the manual transmission options shift smoothly. The rear differential is very durable and has been known to sometimes make a clunking noise, especially from first to reverse. Just make sure you don't hear any whining noise when driving, which might indicate bad bearings or damage. The wheel options consisted of only two sizes, A 16-inch was used on the naturally aspirated version and a 17-inch on the turbo version for brake caliper clearance, since the turbo models used larger 4-piston calipers compared to the naturally aspirated version. Tire wear on the inside is normal, but if you see it on the outside, then there might be some issues. The Supra also came with a spare tire. Here are the major changes of the Supra throughout its time frame in the US. And starting with the first year in 1993, there was a Premier Edition offered. This wasn't really anything as special as it means. There were specific decals, but it was actually just a tow package. Nothing happened in 1994, so I'll go to 1995 where the SE or Special Edition was offered, but only in non-turbo form, and it included a mechanical driver's seat adjustment, cloth seats, small brakes, 16-inch wheels, and hardtop with an exclusive pearl white color. Hardtop is a key word for 1995 because this was the last year it was offered. Everything from 1996 and newer became targa top. And speaking of 1996, this is the only year with no 6-speed manual transmission offered. You can get a turbo, but just no 6-speed transmission, which was apparently due to the tighter emission standards, and also included the implementation of OBD2 emissions for this year onwards. The track button for this year also included a snow feature along with the off function, and it no longer functions in part through the ABS system. The non-turbo also lost a few features like heated mirrors, cloth driver's seat no longer being powered, and there was also a audio head unit change. 1997 is the most significant year in the US's Supra timeline because this was when we received a major revision to the Supra, which are not really recognizable unless you know what to specifically look for. If you see this emblem, then it's an indicator it's a 1997 Supra. All 1997 Supras were labeled as limited edition 15th anniversary. These 15th anniversary emblems were not factory installed from Japan. Apparently, Toyota employees put them on when the Supras arrived at US ports because no other countries received them. So it was just US marketing at work to boost sales, which if you compare it to the previous year, it did help out. It was given to celebrate the Supra as Toyota's flagship car for the past 15 years. The exterior changes that occurred this year included the headlight housings changing to black and the front indicators becoming longer and clear. A grille was also added to the front bumper, as you can see in this photo, and the taillights were updated to a graphite color compared to the previous years. This was also the introduction of the turbo emblem next to the Supra emblem. Going to the interior, the cloth seats received a new pattern, and all seats were revised to an integrated headrest compared to the old one. A complaint is that you won't be able to use a harness anymore. People have mentioned that the seats have a cheaper leather material compared to previous years. The armrest on the door panel covers and e-brake handle are vinyl now, and the visors went from cloth to vinyl. To make up for this, Toyota added absorbing pads at the doors for collision, more sound insulation, and reinforcements to key areas of the frame for rigidity. Going to the engine bay, an aluminum radiator core was used to reduce weight. Twin turbo versions from here on were only sold in states without California emissions, and the 6-speed was also reintroduced after not being offered in 1996. The brakes remained the same, except the brake master cylinder was revised for better braking feel. The ABS for non-turbo Supras became 3-channel, while the twin-turbo Supras remained 4-channel. As far as wheels go, the non-turbo versions got the new center cap design, while the twin-turbo received polished alloy wheels with chrome center caps. 1998 was the final year for the Supra in the US, and all of them came standard with the rear spoiler. The stereo head unit was redesigned, and there was now a 3-spoke steering wheel, which was much sportier. There was also a Supra script on the passenger side airbag. The wheels were slightly lighter by removal of webbing around the lug nuts. As I mentioned earlier, this was the only year that the non-turbo Supra received variable valve timing on the intake valves. The twin-turbo never received this feature in the US. Used Supra prices vary on condition, mileage, modifications, and if it's a non-turbo or twin-turbo. The non-turbo Supra seem to be selling around $25,000 and up, while the twin-turbos are around $40,000 or more. And that's about it for this ultimate buyer's guide to the 4th generation Toyota Supra. Now, realistically, guys, you gotta understand that this is a 20-year-old car, so don't expect it to be like purchasing a brand new car. There's gonna be a lot of things that need to be looked at or maintained. But you will be owning something with a legendary status in the car community. Just remember to do your due diligence and have some money saved on the side in case you have to do some repairs or maintenance, or you can use that money towards those nice upgrades that you plan to do. Hit that like and subscribe button to support my channel so that I can bring more content like this out to you guys. Oh, and also let me know which year you think was the best year for the 4th generation Supra in the comment section below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.